cat uses me as a clothes haul.
Genuinely interested to know. So Criccieth Castle itself.
I've lost Cat to the caves. Not a bad view for your lunch, is it?
But what a vantage point.
A place for a cup of tea.
Who does he think he is? Hello.
Hi.
This is Kerry.
And this is Kat.
And we are Tea in Valhalla.
You join us today in a windswept North Wales, Snowdonia. We're on Black Rock Sands and we're taking you up to see Criccieth Castle this morning. Beautiful part of the North Wales coastline.
Black Rock Sands Beach is named after that really dark headland that you can see in the distance, rather than the sands being black. In fact, the sands are beautiful. They're golden, they're fine. It's perfect beach, really. The dune system here that stretches for about 2 miles is a triple SI. Very important, very special and historical to the area. The one weird thing about this beach, which is quite highly protected, is that you're allowed to drive on it. There's vehicle access. I'm not sure how that came about or why that still stands, but that's the truth of the matter. And dogs may roam on here until the 1st of April. It's also quite famed for its marine life here. It's quite chilly and it's quite windy. It's beautiful and sunny. Scary. So we're going to walk all the way to beautiful Criccieth Castle that you can see on that little lump of land sticking out over there. On. It's too windy. I keep eating my own hair, can't stand it.
Cat's loving all the sea life and all the seashells, signs of crabs, mermaids' cases and things behind us. Really beautiful walk so far. We'll come up towards a more sort of jagged cliff area in a moment, and we're hoping there might be some caves and things up there to have a little look at as well. Low tide caves. So again, you've got to know your tide times and all the rest of it so you don't get caught out.
Yeah, it has actually really fast tides here.
Yeah.
Though it looks flat, this is like that. It's like sandbanks all the way across, and you can get caught on the sandbank from the water influxing from either side. So you've got to be really careful here. It's quite dangerous.
Know your surroundings. Know your tide times. But it's really lovely. The sea and the mountains. Beautiful.
This really is an area where the mountains meet the sea.
Yeah.
It's a really strange feeling that this headland, which is what this area is known for, that's why it's called Black Rock Sands, because it's a black headland here.
Yeah.
It sort of juts into the sea, almost like a natural pier.
Yeah.
It's quite strange, isn't it?
Very strange. Love it. Absolutely love it.
Now we're so close to the headland, and you can see how far the water comes up. Look at that. But you can also see how black rock is. Look at that. So this is all barnacles from where the water touches it during the high tides. So this is the blackness of the rock naturally. It's interesting, isn't it? What an incredibly interesting geology. Water falling from the top all the way down into this cave. Now this cave is only accessible during the low tide. You would never be able to get in here during high tide. I don't know how much you can see, obviously it's very difficult to know. Oh, it's beautiful. All of the rock has been corroded into the shape of the waves. It's like a cathedral, it's like a natural cathedral, and it even has the shape of one. This arch. Totally corroded naturally. Wonderful. a minute.
How does it always manage to get right down your back? Not so much of a cathedral in this one, a little bit more like a bunker really. Yeah, all the barnacles, you know how high the sea comes in, so 8-10 foot easily here. And then imagine that with the crashing waves. There's more caves.
Colouring, the staining from the minerals from where the water's running down into this tidal cave. Look at that! Looks like a tiger stripe. Absolutely beautiful. Do you know those tiger eye gems? That's what it looks like. It looks like a giant tiger eye gem. Look at this. Ooh. I can't help but go in every single one of them. And I'll tell you why. Each one has different patterns and colours. They all feel different and they sound different. And the faults and the folds are different as well.
I've lost Kat to the caves. I'm really hoping for a rock pool or two to like have a little rummage around. Takes me back to my childhood with my little brother, poking around the west coast of Wales.
Absolutely lovely. Look at the colours in here though. I know I keep going on about it, but look at this. It's deep green, peppered by this purple. See that? There's actually markings from sea creatures that have been suckering on the side of here. You just about see that, almost like fingerprints. They must want to suck the iron out of the stone. That's my presumption anyway. That kind of coloured staining is iron. Apologies if I'm wrong, and do tell me in the comments if I'm incorrect, because I'm interested to know, genuinely interested to know what people might think that staining is. But my presumption is it's iron, because critters do like to get in and sucker on iron. Since coming from around the headlands, that natural break in the water, the composition of the beach is very, very different, extremely stony here.
Yeah.
Obviously it's interspersed with soft golden sand, but a lot stonier. Proof of stones. So I'm starving.
Let's have a cup of tea.
Gotta have a cup of tea, something to eat before we make our way over to Criccieth Castle, also known as
the Jail on the Hill.
Or the Jail on the Hill, built by Llewellyn the Great.
Not a bad view for your lunch, is it? Very nice. Yakida. Beautiful, feeling almost tropical. Sat here in the sun, having our lunch, having our cup of tea. I don't know, midday sun, it must be around midday now. And it feels warm. Feels like I need to reach for the sunblock.
It's beautiful.
I wouldn't be out of place in a grass skirt. Too far? It's tropical, is what I'm trying to get at. It feels tropical.
No, it is beautiful.
So we're just going to finish upping up our teas. Then we'll take you to the beautiful castle that you might be able to see just over our shoulders there.
Look at that. This is a place to have a cup of tea, isn't it?
What a place for a cup of tea! Happy holidays!
Happy holidays. Look at this, absolutely full of life, beautiful. In these pools there's winkles and limpets, and obviously lots of barnacles, all these plants, different types of seaweeds of course. Lovely, and of course essential for the bigger birds. So you've got oyster catchers way over there on the rocks, and they depend on having these nook and cranny boulder areas that have a good tidal flow in and out, that are clean enough to sustain this kind of life, this level of life. Like the bottom of the ecological food chain is the glue to everything else. That's why those birds are sat there, look at them. And that's why this place is renowned for seals. Lots of seals pup here. It's an excellent place to see dolphins, and Kerry was saying before that as a child he knew that the west coast of Wales, he got to see basking sharks off the west coast of Wales. I mean, that's incredible, isn't it? So it goes to show that areas like this, that are strong at the bottom of the ecological food chain, gets to have a much larger ecological spectrum of species. And it's just beautiful.
Thought you'd be prime bird.
Oh, look, look.
Oh yeah. This is great.
But we've got to move on, Kerry. This is getting ridiculous. Kerry's taking more photos. Kerry, we have to move on.
Sorry, coming now.
Every time I think to myself, okay, come on now, we've got to get going, I just think, well, I'll just look in one more rock pool, just the one more, just the one more.
Not my camera.
I have, yeah. It's just so, it is genuinely so full of life. It's just exciting to look through, because you know that you'll always make a discovery. That's the thing, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
That's the the catch to it.
This is something you guys don't see often, but Kat uses me as a clothes horse.
Listen, you've got to do things like that for me, Kerry.
Where are you? I can't even see you. Kat's getting a bit hot.
I am getting a bit warm, okay? So, swapping over. Thanks, Kerry.
No worries. Thanks. So we're just coming up off of the beach now, up into Criccieth itself, and we just follow the path up now. All these lovely benches and viewing spots behind us.
There, look.
Bit of an information board, might go check that out. Look, all the things: tennis, garage, health centre, post office, nature garden. See where we've come from now, all the way along the coast there. And then we'll take you next. Always worth checking ahead, check the websites, costs, charges, various memberships and things you can get discounts with and on.
Yeah, so for my birthday, my parents got me an English heritage couples membership, but it also includes free entry to some Welsh heritage,
Yes.
and or at like a reduced rate. Mighty Criccieth Castle was a big sign, along with all the other castles along this coastline, was a great sign of the strength of the unity that Llywelyn, Prince of Wales, brought to these lands. They had been feuding for centuries before this castle was built. 13th century, Llywelyn, Prince of Wales, managed to unite the Welsh people and stop all the feuding amongst all the families. And castles like this was a sign of that power. So Criccieth Castle itself, first built in the 13th century, was built by two of the most powerful Welsh princes, and the third most powerful prince destroyed it. Been created and sacked more than once, so it's been ruined a few times. Later on, some of the English kings took over and used it as their own. But what a vantage point. Back then, as an easy way of travelling and connecting all the Welsh castles together, sea was extremely important as a means of travel and trade between each other. So the gatehouse would have been the main stopping point
In and out.
for anyone getting in and out of the castle unless allowed to, sort of a thing, from the sea. Boop. Right, you can't see where they would come up now though, mind. Oh, I wouldn't fancy it. Of course, these walls we see here, this is actually the oldest part of the castle, this inner piece. This is the oldest part of the fort. And it would have had wooden buildings inside of it. So your kitchens and dorms, you know, all the things that would be normally necessary in a fort would be inside. But the grandest part are the slightly later additions of the gatehouse, which is these two great big almost tower shapes either side, which of course would be for guards, but they were also quite unusually and quite a big draw for the fort itself. Rooms that were had big fireplaces, ornate fireplaces, ensuite bedrooms, and they all had water coming in fed via a local spring. Very unusual and a massive draw for the castle. So although it's true that this magnificent castle was a prison and it was a fortress, it was for defence, it was also famed for having great big parties. They loved to party here. Lots of dignitaries came here. So this room that we're stood in is one side of the gatehouse, and these were a slightly later addition, but they were magnificent. So they had guards rooms at the bottom, 24-hour guard rooms, as you can tell by the slit windows, and above it they had giant ornate fireplaces with ensuite bedrooms, which is really unusual for the time. They would have been really plush, I mean really fancy. It was such a draw that poets used to write long sonnets to the place.
Wow.
I thought it was so incredible and fancy.
So this is the engine tower, so called because it was housed a machine for hurling missiles at the enemy. Train shafts in the east wall show that the tower had at least 2 upper floors.
Do you know, it was a good idea really, isn't it?
Ideal, yeah.
Engine tower, I love that. I mean, this was a fortress inside a fortress, really, in some ways.
This would have been the most attractive area for troops to try and land.
Almost comes like a jetty, doesn't it?
Yeah. I'd much rather be up here than down there, though, that's for sure.
It would have been a difficult place to siege, for sure. Ah, excellent picture. So this is showing here that engine tower we were just talking about. The two very ornate, very plush gate houses, and the wooden structures inside the original part. So that was the first original fort there, with the wooden things inside. And obviously this is the gatehouse at the back, which would be for people coming up. You see there, look, they're trailing up from the sea.
Lots of lovely memorial benches and things dotted around the castle as well. So if you bring a picnic, a cup of tea or a sandwich with you, places to park your bum and top up. So we've had a wonderful day here exploring Black Rock Sands, Criccieth Castle, Criccieth, the rock pools.
Yeah, it was great, and all those tidal caves.
Brilliant, wasn't it? Absolutely brilliant.
But because the sea's coming in, we're going to have to take a different path home, so probably along the road actually. So we thought we'd say goodbye here, because we're not sure which way we're going to go back at the moment.
Thanks for joining us again today. Thanks for always all your support, comments, subscriptions, liking the video, all that good stuff. Thank you so much. Means the world.
It really is. It's an incredible thing, and we feel very much loved.
Encourage us. It really does genuinely encourage us to get out there and keep sharing our adventures with you. So on that note, if you have enjoyed today's video, you know what to do. Hit that like button, drop us a little comment below. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing. Click that bell notification so you know when the videos go up. So please join us again soon for another adventure. Until then, stay safe and well.
Keep enjoying all those green spaces.
Bye everyone.
Bye.